Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. So today we're going to be doing a bit of a double feature. Here I've got two Intermountain ET44ACs, both in special Canadian National liveries. If you saw my video from a couple weeks ago talking about model train pricing, then you probably would have seen both of these locomotives in that video. Since I've decided to do a review of them, so I will most likely just be doing the up-close stuff on our 100th anniversary unit, and then we'll do a close-up look at the scheme on our veterans unit. Alright, so taking a closer look at our boxes here, you can see two ET44ACs, both Canadian National, and as you can see here, this one is a non-sound equipped decoder, while this one is a sound equipped decoder, both made by ESU, both made by Intermountain. Alright, so taking a look at this box here, this is going to be our non-sound equipped box. Both boxes are the same, so it doesn't really matter. Either way, you can see on the side, Intermountain Railway, nice big viewing window, as well as some detail parts, handrails, that kind of stuff. This side, Intermountain. This side, Intermountain. And, as you can see, got this from MidwestModelRailroad.com. I paid $187 for the sound non-equipped locomotive. And on the sound equipped model, you can see that I paid $261. Intermountain is a company that's close to me geographically, so gotta support your local companies. Alright, so here we've got our 100th anniversary unit. So we're going to be doing this one for the close-up and the walkthrough, and then we'll take another look at our veterans unit here in a couple minutes. Alright, so here we are at the front right of our locomotive. This is the 100th anniversary unit. So, as you can see, we've got a bunch of plaques running along this strip of yellow right here, as well as our number and model. We've got our cab windows. These are tinted like CN tends to do. Small antenna right there, as well as window shades, as well as our antenna array. The steps are mesh and they are see-through. One of them is a little bit crooked right there. Also, the caps, bearing caps in the trucks do span. A little bit hard to see here. Alright, so here is an up-close look at our truck. And as you can see, that center bearing cap does spin with the wheels. Alright, so looking at the front of the locomotive here, as you can see, we've got our number boards, our tinted windshield, along with our windshield wipers, sand filling ports, as well as our headlight, ditch lights, and marker light. Nice independently applied chain, as well as our coupler cut bar, and all of our hoses, and all that stuff. And if you could please let me know in the comments what that symbol right there is. I've never seen that before. So yeah, if you know, please let me know. Alright, and looking at this side, as much the same, all the same cab detail, as well as all the same truck detail. Alright, and looking at the center of the locomotive here, as you can see, we've got our 100 CN logo, as well as more plaques. There is also some nice walkway tread here. All right, and looking at the rear section here, as you can see, we've got a bunch of these clear mesh screens that go over top of the body itself. All of these are independently applied and glued on, as well as our brake, same truck detail from the front, and our radiator. All right, so looking at our rear here, as you can see, we've got a couple more vents, rear headlight, rear ditch lights, as well as our rear marker light. We've also got our number boards on either side, as well as all of our coupler detail. All right, and looking at the other side of the rear here, looks mostly the same. However, as you can see, one of my plastic panels has fallen off. It is, I believe, just right here. Oh, maybe not. So be careful with that. My other unit does not have that same issue. This one came like this. So yeah, just be mindful. All right, so looking at the center of this side, as you can see, we've got our 100 CN logo again, as well as our horn on top, and our off-center exhaust stack, as well as some more fuel tank detail, such as the tanks and the fuel level. All right, and welcome back to where we started. I think that does it for the detailed overview. So let me go grab our veterans unit and let's just take a look at that one. All right, and here we are with our veterans unit. First of all, I just want to say that this is a very cool looking scheme. I love the camo and the white cab roof. All right, so taking a look at our front here, as you can see, we've got a couple differences. So we've got a Support Our Troops banner, as well as the North America's Railroad banner, as well as a small Canadian National logo over here. Obviously the running number is different. All right, so taking a look at the front here, as you can see, nothing really different. Looks about the same, just the numbers are different in the number board. All right, so taking a look at the other side here, as you can see, we've once again got our small CN logo here, as well as, lest we forget, in both English and in French, as well as a poppy. The poppy is widely known as a big symbol for the First and Second World Wars, so it makes sense why that is on there, as well as, and I don't speak French, and I'm not even going to try here, but on the other side it says North America's Railroad, so I would assume it says basically the same thing over here. All right, so looking at the center of the locomotive here, as you can see, we kind of get into this camo paint scheme that goes all the way around the locomotive. And the only difference here is just the crossed American and Canadian flags. All right, and taking a look at our rear here, as you can see, the camo scheme still comes through up here on the radiator. It just says, "Thank you for your service." All right, and of course on the rear here, we've got much the same, just little pieces of the camo coming through. Otherwise, no difference. All right, and of course on this side, we've got "Thank you for your service" again, just in English this time. And of course, thank you all veterans for your service. Many members of my family are veterans, and so what you do certainly does not go unnoticed. And of course, back here in the center, again, we see our Canadian and American flags. And otherwise, that should do it for the overview of both the 100th anniversary unit and the veterans unit. So yeah, let's get them out on the track and let's run them along. All right, so here we are at the track. I've got both of them set up. For this next part, we're really going to focus on the Veterans Day unit a lot because that is the unit with sound, and this is kind of where we go over sound and lighting and all that. But eventually, when we do our actual running, it will include both locomotives. That's the reason why I got two, was to do a pair. If you haven't gathered yet from my videos, I'm kind of an eclectic collector. I don't really have anything specific that I do other than probably Denver and Rio Grande. But otherwise, everything else is just kind of all over the place. So I wanted to get a pair of these to be able to run together. And so yeah, we'll get to see some of that. Alright, so here we are with our closer look at the Veterans unit. So this locomotive, like most, has a startup sequence. So let's listen to that. Alright, so we are starting up. So let's get some of our lights on here. So obviously we've got our headlight, as well as our ditch lights, and our number board lights, as well as a front walkway light, and of course the light at the end. So here is our horn. And of course, because it is a Canadian National unit, the horn also triggers the bell. So here's the bell by itself. Alright, so let's listen to some of our other sounds here. So next we've got our coupler sound. As well as the dynamic brake fan. As well as a radiator fan. The radiator fan is pretty quiet. Alright, so let's give her a notch of throttle. This locomotive has very good low speed throttle response. No jiggling or Alright, so let's give her a notch of throttle here. So the startup to get moving is not always that slow. Typically just when you switch directions is it that slow. Prototypical get moving speed. Notch 1 is pretty good. No stuttering or anything like that. And of course, from here you can see our DPU red light as well. Obviously that follows the direction the locomotive is in. Alright, and I remember from the pricing video that some of you guys said that you don't like the sound and you just like to listen to just the mechanical noises of the locomotives in general. So just for you guys, we've got our first non-sound review here, so let's have her go around the track a couple times. So as you can see here, I've now got both locomotives hooked up to each other. They're both set up in a consist, so they should run with each other. Like I said earlier, this is one of the reasons why I picked up both, was to be able to do proper consisting. Usually, to get a consist to work, you have to do some programming in one or both of the locomotives to make them both about the same speed-wise. Now, I've only ever dived into that just a little bit, so for the meantime, a pair of these should be pretty fun. So let's take them around the track. And for this little excursion, I've got basically every freight car that I own hooked up. So these two should be more than capable of handling that many cars. Not like it's a huge amount. Yeah, here we go. Oh. Well, sometimes derailments happen. Well, just like in real life, sometimes derailments happen. Let me get this guy back in the track and we'll get a couple more shots. Alright, so I think that's going to do it. Thank you guys very much for watching this video. Please let me know what you thought down in the comments, and if you enjoyed, please like and subscribe. Have a good day.